G'day everyone, welcome to Property Palz.
Yes.
My name is Ben.
My name is Marcus.
And we are incredibly excited to be back for another episode of the show.
And is it episode 5?
Episode 5 now. Wow, time flies when you're having fun and talking about property.
Property. All right,
Anyway,
then.
well, I mean, the market's
It's moving.
It's off and about. Now, there's a little bit of uncertainty in the market, isn't there, Marcus?
Yeah, with the interest rates obviously still pretty high and potentially going up.
Well, people don't know when it's going to stop. Now, there's been talk in the market. The cash rate is now at 3.6%. And so without doing a whole economics lesson for everyone, the higher the cash rate goes, the higher interest rates go on your home loan, which means the more you need to be forking out
Each month for your repayments.
Correct.
If you're on a variable loan.
And then, that's correct. And then that kind of changes potentially the prices that properties are. So what's kind of crazy is that we've got rents going up for properties, but prices are kind of dropping a little bit because the interest rate's going up. So
the borrowing power of an individual is less, so they can't afford to pay as much for a property when it's at auction or EOI, etc.
And there's a lot of uncertainty. But in uncertainty, there is opportunity. So we have looked through a couple of ripper properties. So I think
5.
we have our top 5 for the week. And without further ado, what about we jump into
Let's
it?
jump into it. So, G01/122 Roseneath Street, Clifton Hill. Now, This is auction between 800 to 850k, 2-bed, 1-bath, 1 car. Now, let me paint the picture, Ben, location-wise. Do you want to be painted the picture? Yes, you ready? It is in a leafy pocket of Clifton Hill, edged in the parklands as per the listing. Super spot in the inner suburbs, I think, within walking distance of Merry Creek. Also, you have great public transport to Clifton Hill Station, a short walk away. Alexandra Parade, the main thoroughfare, is very, very close for easy access for car as well. It was developed by Assemble, one of their first, very familiar name, one of our favourites. They've grown ever since this first development, designed by Fieldwork Architects.
Well-known architect.
Yes, so it's a part of 49 apartments and 18 townhouses, delivered, I'm just having a look here. It's a converted brutalist building. If you see on the first picture here, you can see at the top the concrete there. So it's converted brutalist building, and that building, I guess, was partially retained and has kind of acted, I think, as their inspiration for the overall project, which I've read more. So Ben, let's have a look at the photos here. Just take me through them a bit.
Well, I think you can see that, there's the existing building there, a bit of concrete. Lots of people like the look of concrete. It's on the ground.
Yeah,
so
it's ground, easy access right off the street. That's a pro, easy access right off the street. It's actually unique in a sense, brutalist building, compact living and faces north. The finishes also look great. If you look at the kitchen here, Ben, take me to the kitchen.
Back to the kitchen, I guess, like you mentioned, facing north, you're going to get sunlight through the day, which is really good.
Yep, and if you look at the kitchen, they look new. The kitchen looks really nice. I love the colour palette they've chosen.
Timber floorboards. Really nice.
And
they don't have exposed concrete looking ceiling. Still looks very slick and clean though.
They should have done it, shouldn't they?
I don't know, maybe
concrete
on the outside, concrete on the inside. Maybe that's a little bit too much concrete.
Maybe. And then looking at a couple elements that potentially are cons maybe. With this one, the balcony, the terrace outdoor area is covered by, I guess, a taller firewall system at the front. So
by firewall, what do you mean there?
When I say firewall, let's just go through to it. It's this where the fire brigade hook up there.
Oh, okay. Yep. So it's where the fire brigade need to connect into their IC. They need to connect into their hose or whatever.
It should be if there's a fire to access. But the other thing is that the wall's not too high, so people could probably peer into your apartment.
The positive though is that if there's a fire ever, that you're in the safest location.
You are 100% are.
Correct. I think people can maybe have a look over the fence, but then again, that's with all that sort of greenery that's growing over it, provides a little bit of more privacy, still enough light that gets into it. How's the layout, Mark?
So that's what I wanted to talk about. Maybe a slight con is that the bedrooms aren't separated. Ben and I love bedrooms which are separated, so maybe a bathroom between.
Just provides a little bit of sound insulation, just in case the person who sleeps in the other room snores, can disrupt your sleeping patterns. But what's interesting, and normally what people or what developers do or architects do when you've got 2 bedrooms that are backing onto each other, you can put both wardrobes. So that does provide a little bit of sound insulation.
Yeah, it does. Also, the other thing, the light well terrace thing at the back. So it's not necessarily, from my understanding, a really great outlook. It's
so
just
this
more
light
of a
that comes down and then into the room rather than it having, an unobstructed view.
So see there how it's a bit of a light well next to the next door neighbours. And that's okay. At least you've got a bit of light, but it's not like great natural light.
And I've seen apartments and townhouses that have this sort of, have the light well complex. Still, apartments are selling that have them and still provides natural light. What is interesting, Marcus, is what's going on there with the doors to the 2 bedrooms?
Well, that's another con. I think the second bedroom is actually a sliding door, Ben. So when we talk about sliding doors, that's not necessarily ideal. We prefer a normal door, and the second bedroom's got a sliding door.
So what you could do, I guess, it looks like you can fully pull open the door, so it could be just
another living
space. It also means that you'll be getting more natural light into that space, say if that was your home office area.
Yeah.
But one bathroom.
One bathroom, and I just wanted to show you the bathroom. If you're in the main bedroom at the front, you've got a fair way to walk through your living, through your kitchen to get to the bathroom.
That's true.
So it's just not ideal.
That's true at night time. So that might mean potentially then someone who's working from home, if they're living this place, maybe their office goes at the front, they get the northern light during the day.
Yeah.
And then at the back, that's where they sleep. It's dark anyway, doesn't matter, and they're closer to the bathroom.
You're right.
Or if there's 2 people living at home.
I was going to say as well, in terms of, I've lost it here. Keep going. The storage cage, actually, that's it. It's got a storage cage as well as one car park.
And now storage cages, whilst the average person may underestimate how important they are with apartment or townhouse living, they are really important because it just gets to that point, there's only so much space in every centimetre, every centimetre cubed or every square
cubic metre. That's the one.
Counts. So having that storage cage is really good just for some of that stuff that you don't want to have.
And you've got one and you've got a lot of stuff in your storage cage.
Really useful. Really useful. It's amazing how your stuff just piles up, particularly if you're coming from, say, a house or you're moving from a slightly where you're a little bit more luxurious about how you can, the space that you can use to store stuff is very useful.
So now we're going to go into a bit of the next depth, the next layer.
Jump down one more layer.
Just a bit more, get a bit more in depth. So in terms of this apartment, it was listed for rent in 2021 for $540 a week. Okay. So in my eyes, with the way the market's gone since then, I think it would probably be worth upwards of $600.
Rents across the board, depending on the suburb, have gone up, could be 10, 20% since then.
Exactly. And I think that's why it could be $600 a week. It's approx 66 to 72 square metres in that bracket, which I've calculated. Okay. So if it sells at the upper end of the range at $840K, that equates to $11,666 per square metre. So you got a square metre, you're paying $11,606 for that square metre of apartment.
Now, $11,000 a square metre, it's fairly new. That doesn't sound like a small amount for an apartment.
Yeah, I think it's pretty pricey, but similar to one that sold last year. So I wonder how does it compare with Collingwood? Like Collingwood apartment revenue rates?
Again, depends on where you are. Collingwood could arguably be a slightly more desirable location just because it's close to the city as compared to Clifton Hill. Even though Clifton Hill has a lot of great amenities, the developer has a little bit of a name, and that definitely helps. And we've seen that with stuff that we've talked about before.
Like Milieu as well.
Collingwood. Yeah. So, and Assemble has like a name to it, and it's got really good kind of connotations to it. So that probably would help the value sustain itself and also grow over time.
Yeah. The other element that I was going to say is that I did a bit more digging. Like I've gone to the next layer.
Really picked your game.
I have. So I've looked at other apartments for sale. I found one that's on the market, a very good comparable at 103/27 Groom Street. It's in Clifton Hill, 2 bed, 2 bath, 2 car. Wow. So it's asking $800 to $850K. So similar.
An extra car.
And an extra bathroom. So this one has, like what we said just then, the bedrooms are separated, as we'll put on the screen. The apartment looks new and it's slightly bigger at, I think, 76 square metres. So it's asking a similar square metre rate of $11,184. However, you get another bathroom and another toilet.
And what's really interesting, and we may not jump into it in too much depth this week, but we will talk about it in episodes to come, is that construction costs for building apartments and building anything has risen so much over the past 2 years or 3 years, and inflation is kind of forcing that to go up. So to build any sort of apartment complex, is really expensive. And so to build this same apartment or this same, ground floor apartment today would be much more expensive than it was. So there is opportunities when you're buying that, you're buying really good value here, I think, in terms of that to create that again today, look, it would cost a lot more than it would have, say, 2 or 3 years ago.
So which one do you think though? This, like, you get a bigger apartment with an extra bath and an extra car park?
Were they built around the same sort of time?
I think so, and it looks reasonably new, the internal area.
Without seeing it, I can see the desirability from having another car and the desirability of having another bathroom. And car, particularly Clifton Hill, a bit easier to get to the city. But then again, you've got the train station nearby. So look, overall, I think this is a attractive apartment from, the developers, from the architecture, from the ground floor would be attractive, not to everyone, but it definitely would be attractive to some people.
I agree.
So,
yeah,
I think it's an interesting apartment.
Yeah, it's unique as well. It's in a brutalist building. We love brutalist buildings. Ben, over to you.
For number 4. Now, Marcus, we're going back to a very familiar suburb here, Collingwood.
Yep.
And now, tell me, have you ever dreamed of living in a silo?
I have. That's a what? A what?
A silo.
A silo. I have always dreamed of living in a silo, Ben.
I think whenever I drive and I see a silo, I've always gone, what would it be like to live in one?
I don't
today
know.
It's your opportunity.
Yes.
Because we're talking about 55 Islington Street, Collingwood, apartment 802.
Ben.
Now, this is a very interesting and unique apartment, Marcus, that you're in a silo that goes right back to, I think it was built in, let me just check my notes, 1878 was when James Hood had their kind of malt creating silos business there, and they were there right up until 1991.
Wow.
But at some stage, I can't actually confirm the exact date, but this silo's, it's about a 10 or so level silo.
We'll put a picture up here, but it's quite tall and it's just been converted
into apartment complex. So the upper floors are whole floor apartments, the lower ones are kind of gone into a couple of, there's 1s, 2s, 3s and 4-bedder apartments.
Can I ask a question, Ben? Now, isn't a silo round?
Correct, and that's a very good observation, Market, that you'll find that the bedrooms and the living rooms, they are in the shape of silos. So if you have a look at the floor plans here, you can see that the dining room and the living room, they're both circular. And then the bedroom and then the main bedroom, they're also kind of circular. Now what's interesting is that the main bedroom is smaller than the
So wait,
the
is that
bedroom.
the main bedroom?
Correct. So that's the main bedroom.
Why is that the main
It's got
bedroom?
a walk-in robe just there. Now this one over here has a bedroom, has robes. Either way, you can choose. Doesn't really matter whether on the floor plan it's called the master bedroom or not.
Main, we call main these days.
I think my actually master or main. But either way, it's a really unique apartment, and I think with apartments in this sort of area where there's lots of gentrification, you can't replace something like this because you're not going to build another silo. And it's got so much history in it, and you can see there's a bit of X factor about there's going to be some sort of person that falls in love with this property and goes, you know what, I really want to live in a silo and I want to have a place with a great view.
And Ben, can I just ask you, we know developments.
Is
there a development that might block the view?
Now, Marcus, that is a very, very, very cunning observation.
Yes.
I think you might be right.
Oh, no.
And so that's an issue with this property is that if you look at the floor plan, it faces east and south. Now, to the immediate east, there is development that's is currently under application.
Yeah, I know.
And it is a big one. Now, I don't know how big it's going to be.
It could be massive, but they've gone above what the planning scheme allows, I think.
Well, I don't even know actually what the planning scheme in that area says about how high you can go, and because of that, they've shot for the moon, and it is very tall at the moment. But there is a chance, and even a high percentage chance, that will block out part of your eastern views.
So you need to do your due diligence when you're buying something. You look around, and just understand if there's any other developments to come, so you know that your view is either there forever, which most views aren't, or if you could be impacted or impeded.
And no, when you have something, when someone applies for a permit or for a planning application, you can object to it on various grounds, but one grounds that you can't object to it is because it's going to block my view. So it is important. If you're getting this and thinking that you're going to have this view forever, you may not. But at least for the time being, it's got a beautiful view east, and then it also has views to the south, and it might even have views to also the west as well. So, but all in all, this is a really cool apartment. I think it's got a lot of X factor. You can't recreate it. It's got 2 bedrooms, so it suits, I guess it could be suits it could be like, it could be young professionals. It could be a family with one kid or maybe two kids if they're willing to sleep in the same room. Only one car, but then again, you're in Collingwood.
You're in a silo.
And this is quite easy to... Oh, there we go. The lights have gone off.
To go put those up, Benny boy. Careful of the cord. We're back in business.
Oh, there we go.
Ben, I just think it's a unique property that I think you need to fall in love with if you're to buy it. Like, for example, for me, silo's not for me. You?
And also, I think just the location where it is on Islington Street, it's close to Hoddle Street, it's kind of close to Victoria Parade. These are quite sort of noisy areas, but then again, you're that high up in the air. And this is interesting too. So in terms of size-wise, it's 100 and...
One sec, I got it. 135, is it, Ben?
Yes, correct. 135 square metres. And
how much is it asking? Or
so
how much
it's asking $1.1 to $1.2 million. All
right. Well, Ben, I've done some very quick maths, and I believe it is approximately 9.1k a square metre.
And it's under $10,000 a square metre. But what's interesting is that there's been recent sales in the building, including this same apartment was sold for $1.23 million back in 2018. So look,
it has appreciated.
You never know when someone's going to be selling a property, but it could be because of the view, or it could be that they've decided they want to go somewhere else.
Wait, so what's it asking now? Because that's what I did it after.
$1.23 million.
Yep.
Now it's asking 1.1 to 1.2.
Oh, okay.
So they're asking a little bit below that. Look, whether it sells around that sort of area, there you go. It's a 10-story building, only 21 apartments in this complex. But all in all, I think you've got some issues with the view one way. It is also on the opposite side of the road. There is a substation, area 2 as well, but you're probably far enough away that it's not going to impact you. It's a really cool apartment. You're probably never going to be able to buy an apartment like this again unless it's in the same sort of complex. That I think to some person, it represents pretty good value and a really cool sort of living option. Anyway,
great, Ben.
That's number 4.
I just wanted to say, you look good today.
I decided to put on my...
but you're just not looking as good as
I did not wear a suit today. I forgot my jacket. Maybe next week.
Yeah, I just work from home in my suit. All right, so the next
number 3.
880 Nicholson Street, Fitzroy North.
Oh, not far away from Clifton Hill.
Not bad. It's under offer at the moment. Ben quoted 1.4 million to 1.5 million.
Wow.
3-bed, 2-bath, 1 car. Now, a dream location in Inner North, within steps of... Oh, no, that's not the right one. Well, it's just a great location. Here, Ben.
I think
Fitzroy?
In terms of Fitzroy North, this is Fitzroy North is a really, really cool place.
Yep.
With, good schools and good kind of coffee shops, and it's got a big park.
Near Fitzroy North Village, city-bound trams on Nicholson Street and St George's Road, shops, cafes, renowned Brunswick East eateries nearby, and you're close to the CBD. So, the listing description notes this, Ben. This stunning contemporary 3-bedroom townhouse is sought after at Fitzroy North, offers generous space over 2 levels of light-filled living. And to be honest, I agree. It's really nicely renovated.
And that looks beautiful. Yeah. Just the way that it has the exposed timber on the front.
The facade, it looks great, yeah.
Nice green, the black fence.
Picket fence.
The back there. And hey, I don't like doing the gardening. How good is that?
Fake grass, we love it. You just leave it there.
Bit of bamboo, it looks like.
Bamboo, Ben. But I honestly, the inside, how they put timber.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I think it's concrete floor finish.
The interior design, exposed concrete with a little bit of aggregate in it. So, what's aggregate, Marcus? I think we've touched on before.
Have we? I think it's just what you put in concrete, and it looks like black little tinges.
It's like stones.
Yeah,
stones
thanks,
and
Ben.
stuff in it. Looks fantastic. I think you're right, Marcus. This interior design has just hit it on the head. It feels really calm, feels really welcoming, very homey. You can imagine being there as a professional or being there with a family.
It was built and designed by the owner, the current owner.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, and what sort of positive does that mean, Marcus?
It means that he's put, he or her have put in, yes, the exact, they put love into it and everything will be done to a good degree, not where they've been cutting corners, etc.
Correct. I think whether you're cutting corners or not, you're always going to put in an extra bit of dollar and an extra bit of love to something that you have built for yourself as compared to something that you built to sell or built to rent or whatever it is. So that's a stamp of approval.
All right. So pros in this one, look at the net to lay on. If you go to one of these pictures, the kids can lay on a net then. Look at that net.
When I saw that photo, I didn't actually expand it originally and I didn't know what it was and I was like, Is something falling down through the roof?
It's a net. And so that's cool. Access via the road, right of way for one garage. So ROW, when you see that, right of way. Large main suite with other bedrooms, all being separated.
Very, very good. So that's something very attractive.
Look at the right of way there. It looks lovely. There's a video. X factor of having a little study nook upstairs, Ben.
Yeah,
just up
that's
here.
great.
And it's an east-facing
And
backyard.
the study too, you get the light kind of through that light well, through the courtyard. East-facing, that's probably quite good actually, because in the morning then you get up, having breakfast and stuff, you're going to get the sun, you're gushing through into the meals or the kitchen or the lounge area. And then towards the end of the day, you're going to get sun just into that front bedroom.
Cons, on a very main road, so that would be noisy and perhaps...
Nicholson Street is a bit of a thoroughfare.
It's a thoroughfare. Heavy screening to the above bedrooms, Ben. So if you see the above bedrooms, they're nice, but the main suite, you see how there's a lot of screening. Yeah. And why does screening occur, Ben?
Well, there's a lot of the time, particularly for townhouses, is that there's screening because there's overlooking issues. But also, too, this might not be overlooking issues. This might be just because of the sun.
Oh, you reckon a bit of shading strategy?
When you build any sort of apartment or townhouse or house, there's requirements in terms of how sustainable it is.
Yep.
And sometimes if you're facing west or east, during part of the day, it's going to be really hot, the sun that comes in. And so some of this stuff might act as part shading, part privacy, part stopping you from overlooking someone next door.
Nice, Ben. All right. Well,
looks good.
Walk-in robe is actually fairly basic, I thought. But let's have a look here, Ben. So calculations. I've gone to the next level again.
Wow.
Okay, so the property has a land size of approximately 175 square metres, Ben.
Yeah.
So if it's sold at the upper quote range of 1.5 million, then it's $8,571 per square metre.
On land.
Quick maths on land.
That is incredible.
Let's compare that on a land rate to other houses in the area. For example, 58 Holden Street, Ben. Fitzroy North, this house is 3-bed, 2-bath, 1 car on 158 square metres. I'll put it up here. And it is a fully renovated house and has a very similar accommodation. On a land rate, that one would be $11,000 per square metre.
So that's really significant. So this one is being quoted. Now we all know sometimes...
But this is a main street, this one, remember?
I see there.
So,
but the discount of what, 9, 10, 11, almost $3,000 a square metre on land, that's how much it's discounted. Is it because of the market? Is it because of the main road?
I think it's the main road. So what I've noted here, overall accommodation is better of the other one, I think. Additional car, however, the main reason is location is superior, the other one.
The car may be an issue. I'm thinking if you're on Nicholson Street, I'm not sure whether you can park at the front, so then potentially you may be limited to just having one car. Now, if you've got a family, having one car could be an issue. Both people drive to work. What do you do? Yeah. But still, that sounds like a substantial discount on a land rate of $3,000.
Yeah.
A couple of $100,000. Is it just the location? I don't think so.
It's a new product.
It looks pretty good value.
Both of them are new products, so I think it's decent value, but you're in Fitzroy North. It's a great spot. Anyway, Ben, that's a bit of analysis. Well, do you like it? Would you buy it for
I think it looks really nice. I think that was my initial impression. When I saw it, I thought, look, it ticks a lot of boxes. Obviously, the person that built this for themselves, there's a reason that they picked it. And the reason that they put in a lot of effort just to make it look as good as it does.
Is there one next door to it of the exact same?
Also, too, just if you look at the garage there, I think, would it be possible, and you could drive a car.
I think they've built 2 side by side.
One for themselves, one for someone else.
Yep. Go on, sorry, Ben.
It's very good. But if you look at where even though it only lists 1 car is available, if you look at the floor plans, there may be the possibility of just driving another car in their tandem. Look, it means you would need to do work, but there could be that possibility.
Is there an opportunity to build above that garage maybe, Ben?
Or potentially.
For another studio space?
Subject to planning approval. But of course, I think there's always potential to add a little bit more on the back there, and then maybe you've got a studio at the back, maybe a place for a teenager or young adult kid.
Anyone? Ben? Now, you've done a lot of due diligence. Let's go to the next one.
No, I'm really excited. I've been a little bit biased to the inner northern fringe suburbs this week. And so this one is 6 Chapel Street, Fitzroy. Now, please, let me paint this picture for you.
I'll paint it. You paint it.
I love Fitzroy.
Yep.
I love Collingwood. I love those sort of areas, and there's a lot of other people that love it too. And this one right here is a townhouse over 3 levels plus roof.
Wow.
Now,
really,
there's a lot to love about this because of the location. It's right near Johnson Street, but it's probably far enough back that you don't get, a lot of the noise. It's also within walking distance of a lot of different amenities. Like you've got walking distance to Smith Street, is it? Yep, Smith Street. Oh, you can go for Street View there. There we go. Smith Street, Brunswick Street. No mistake, easy mistake to make. Yep. But it's also near school, like it's down a little alleyway. I think there's a lot to love about it, and it's got a really cute personality feel. There's a school just to the right of it, but also too, there's the properties across the road, the houses. Maybe they never get built out. You're always going to get sunlight to it.
Those
we did have a cheeky look at these ones. In fact, there's a site just diagonally opposite, which maybe we can put some details about it. Sold recently too, so there's demand for this area. But this property, when you look at it,
wow,
it's 3 beds, 2 cars. It's got a living room area. It's got a kind of, and then like a rooftop terrace. So I think this
it's compact, I would call that.
It's a bite-sized, like this is a yummy property, right? But when you see it.
Yeah, I do.
And I think just the feeling that I really liked about it was that the garage, you can fit 2 cars in it. It's on the corner of a block of 3 townhouses.
What's a corner mean, Ben?
So it means that you can have access from 2 sides. It also means you can get sunlight from 2 sides. Now, downstairs it's got 1 bedroom.
Sides?
Yeah, 3 sides.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, even better. Now, you can 2 cars on the ground. You've got a bedroom / study / it's got a bathroom down there on the ground too.
So the one near the garage, obviously it's not a great space. You're on the ground floor next to a garage. It's 2.9 times 3, not massive. But I would think it's like a study, maybe.
Yeah. Yep. Still, and then too, if you've got kids or something like that, then you could stay there too. There's also, it is potentially, you can access it just off too as well. So there is a little bit of separation as well.
I've realised one thing.
One second. Yep. Don't spoil it yet. Yep. Upstairs, first floor, you got 2 bedrooms. They're back to back, shared bathroom. That's okay. Not the best.
Did you hear it? A shared bathroom. That's not ideal.
But, we're in Fitzroy. Every square centimetre counts. And so in this case, we didn't get a bathroom, but we got 2 decent sized bedrooms.
You got a bathroom down there. You can make the main down the bottom, perhaps.
That's true. Maybe, 2 kids or whatever sleep upstairs.
Not a bad idea,
they share the bathroom. It's a little bit safe. Maybe you're downstairs too as well. Yeah. Then the second floor is the kitchen and the dining room area. So generally often what they try and do, developers, and architects, is they put the living space as high as possible so you get more of the natural light, a little bit of a view, and you can see that they have done some screening down one side of where the windows are.
It's a shading or a screening strategy?
It could be both.
Yeah.
Now that faces north.
Maybe it is a shading strategy.
It's probably most likely, you can see the shading stuff, and we'll put a picture up here, but they put shades, so just north, maybe it just dampens a little bit the sunlight that goes in. But then, hey, if you really want the sunlight and it's a ripper day, just go up to the rooftop and have a coffee up there.
I know. It looks over the school.
Well, it's set back a little bit, and so there may be some shading then on the other side just to stop you looking over. But that rooftop area, come on. That looks absolutely super.
Look at the fake grass.
Well, again,
even better.
You don't need to worry about mowing the grass on the roof. But all in all, a couple of these have sold recently too. I should point out that, so this property sold for $1.4 million in 2020. It's quoted for $1.4 million to $1.5 million. There's probably expectation a little bit above that.
Interesting. Why is that an issue, Ben? Because when you pay stamp duty on top, it means you're paying more than the actual value of what they're quoting at.
Correct. So as long as you're not a first-time buyer or you're buying rural farmland, when you buy a property, you need to pay stamp duty, which is payable on the price that you purchase the property. And there's kind of like a
incremental
increase, but generally it is 6.5% of the purchase price. And so for something like this, look, it does actually get right up there when you purchase a property.
Yeah.
So,
but for example, first-home buyers, generally they're below the $1 million category, so that's why they don't necessarily entail as much.
Too much. Well, if you're under, currently it's $650,000, you don't pay anything, and then from $600,000 under in Victoria, you don't pay anything, and then from $600,000 to $750,000, you incrementally keep paying up until the full rate of stamp duty.
Yep.
But all in all, I think there's 3 of these townhouses, another 2 of them. So this property that we're looking at, it sold for $940,000 in 2014, and then $1.4 million in 2020. 2 Chapel Street, which is 2 along.
Yep.
So if we put the picture up here, 3 of them, it's the one to the right of the picture. That one there sold for $1.395 million in 2021.
And why would that one be cheaper, Ben?
Well, arguably it's the inside lot too. Some people might be attracted to that because it's a little bit more protected. It looks like it's next door to a factory or something that might get built. So I would say the side one is the most desirable because then you're getting, like we mentioned, 3 sides of light or 3 sides of views, but it probably gives you a little bit of an indication about what sort of price you can be expecting for this. So look, between that quote range, I still think it's a great buy for
family,
or someone with a family to be, and it's right in the heart of a really cool suburb.
Yeah. Good, Ben. I like that. You've done some good DD. So this one we're going to introduce together.
Oh, wow.
We've done a lot of work on this
one. Our number one for the week.
And 37 May Road, Turak.
Oh, now this is a little bit out of
Oh, Ben, get the lights.
This is a little bit out of our normal league.
So, Turak, when we talk about Turak, you'd be thinking mansions in Melbourne.
Let's think of, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a great account to follow, actually. But you'd be thinking minimum $3 million, which is the median house price in Turak is at least $3 million. So this is not for the everyday purchaser. This is not for if you're buying a house, particularly. This is not for the first-time buyer necessarily, unless you're getting a little bit of help from friends. You make a lot of money in crypto, or you just very good.
Yeah,
very good.
So 3 bed, 2 bath, 2 car. Ben, this house is, how much is it asking?
Well, check
our
the
statement.
agent price guide, so we will pop open, and for those viewers that are joining us for your first time, if you ever want to get a bit of a feel for what the property is priced at in Victoria, there's a thing called the agent price guide or the statement of information. Now, any property that's residential that's on market in Victoria needs to have one of these.
Yep.
And so this one here is quoting it for 2.1 to $2.31 million.
Oh.
Now, straight away, what does it tell you?
Yum. Like, it's just, it's for Turak, it sounds very good. But Ben, can I ask?
To me, just wait, it sounds like it's a Turak property at Armadale prices.
Yeah. Well, Armadale's still expensive.
It's true, not as expensive Turak.
So, Ben, I just did some quick DD as well.
Wow.
So it's 295 square metres the land. And you told me that it was
2.1 to $2.31 million. So on a square metre rate, that is less than $10,000.
7,830. Another quick maths.
Now that is cheaper on land than the one that we saw in Fitzroy.
That's incredible. But this one has a bit of uplift to it, I think.
Does it really?
Looks a tiny bit more tired than your ones in Fitzroy we've been looking at. Let's go through the photos. I love the facade. So obviously it would be heritage, I presume, Ben.
I think so. Look, that would be my, assumption. It's got a little bit of a...
Oh, it has a heritage overlay on it?
So we've just double-checked on Lassie.
Lassie, shout out to Lassie. We'll link it here.
Or Landata, whatever your choice is.
Plan.
And it has a heritage overlay, so you're not able to just demolish the property completely, we think. Now it's got a decent backyard. That's big enough to kick a footy.
Real grass, though. Real grass.
Well, it's great if you like doing the gardening at home. And then look, the living room area. Look, it faces out to the brick facade or the brick wall of the adjoining property, but it still looks quite nice with that greenery area. Exposed timber floorboards, which looks beautiful.
Love
the hallway looks fantastic.
To be honest, it's a really quaint, small but lovely property.
That's a very good word, quaint.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I saw it. Now, the 2 bedrooms at the front, the 1 bedroom in the middle, but the 1 bathroom.
And you know where the bathroom is? Right at the back. So if you're in the bedroom at the front, you need to run through the living room, the whole house to get to the bathroom.
But it's got a bath, so maybe it's worthwhile. Look, I think having 1 bathroom could be a bit of an issue for a family.
There's two.
Oh, actually, wait. Yeah, there you go. There's 2 bathrooms. My mistake. But is that 1 shower area? Oh, there's probably a shower in that bathroom.
Perhaps maybe it's 2.
There's 2 bathrooms, but they are. Is it?
Can you go back? Just press back.
Just hold the phone for a second.
Yeah, 2.
2 bathrooms. My mistake.
Yeah.
2 bathrooms. But the you should probably look at it before we start doing. But the issue is that there's a bathroom at the very back of the property, and then there's a bathroom next to the middle living room. But so the 2 bedrooms at the front, they need to go all the way to the back of the property to go to the loo.
It's okay. The other thing that's really cool to point out, Ben, you see next to the 2nd bedroom, it's got a bit of a square that's hashed, a dashed line.
Now, what sort of thing does that seem to represent?
I wonder. It's a skylight. So essentially it's not a window, but it's a window in your roof.
So it means when you walk down the hallway, you go, wow, and there's this beautiful sunlight just coming through on a sunny day.
And some are really good. So this one, I think, Ben, is okay at the moment. You could keep it like that, but potentially you could renovate it even more, make it better. I don't know if there is an ability to build maybe another level at the back, perhaps.
Maybe, and that sort of idea where at the back of it, now we need to look at it, there was quite a decent backyard.
Yeah.
You're in Turak, you might get objections from your neighbours because everyone's a little bit like that. However, probably the best thing to do would be to just drive around the area, see if anyone's done it before.
Yep.
However, I just think, like you mentioned, it's in a great state at the moment. It's north facing, so the living room, the backyard area is north facing, which is the most desirable orientation for a property. It's walking distance to Hawkesbury Station. It's walking distance to
Turak Station, even.
Malvern Road sort of area, and all these areas that have great coffee shops and eateries, and these kind of. Williams Road is nearby too as well.
And it's got a road behind it, Ben. Did we point that out before?
Look at that. Very, very cool.
It's really nice, and it's got a right-of-way right behind it, so it means that potentially, I'm just having a bit of a gaze on Street View, that you could perhaps go behind. Let's have a quick gaze.
Well, I think you go behind.
Yes, there's a right-of-way.
Yeah, so and that's where you get your cars in around the back. But all in all, I think for the price that it is, and assuming that it sells around where the price is being quoted, I think for someone who wants to be in Turak now, 2 million plus is a lot of money for a lot of people, but that to be in Turak where the median house price is above $3 million, and yes, I know there's some crazy big houses as well, but this could be a very attractive offering to someone.
Oh, this could be a mansion in the future.
Because they're big prices, you go to Albert Park or even Port Melbourne, Middle Park, properties that are probably pretty much the same properties as this could be selling for more than that, but you're in Turak. So I think there's a lot to like about this property, and for that reason, it's our number one of the week.
Yeah, and Ben, overall, I think it's been good. We've gone to apartments, we've gone to Fitzroy, Collingwood, Turak. We'll try and explore a few more on the market for next time.
I think maybe I'll put a rule that I won't do Collingwood or Fitzroy next week.
Can't do that.
But if there's a good one, that's right.
If there's a good one, we'll take it. But
all in all, I think they're our top 5. If remember to leave a comment down below what you
thought of it. Property Pals. We've got an Instagram account, a TikTok account.
Wow, we're all over the place.
So please leave your comments and put listings down there. If you want us to review any, please put them down there and we'll review them if there are lovely houses in Melbourne.
All in all, thanks very much, guys, and tune in to the next episode of Property Pals.
Thank you. Bye.